you see the resume, the profile, the portfolio, everything is so amazing. So their technical knowledge is always here. But when it comes to express this technical knowledge in words, it's like they're lagging here.
the Gen Z, the millennials, and now the alphas and all
True,
that kind of stuff.
true.
So the language has evolved so much
Ah.
that it is really confusing to understand and keep tab of things,
Everything is fine when we speak with our peers. We are very confident. When we are speaking with our junior, we are very confident. The moment we start speaking with our stakeholders, with our senior clients, or with our seniors, we become less confident because your visibility creates your credibility. And the moment you become visible and credible, you automatically become profitable, and that's how you grow.
Okay, let's say I'm a new manager and I have to give a tough feedback to someone who's not performing up to the mark or up to the expectation. I'm nervous and I don't want to hurt that person's feeling, like what we said, wanting to be too soft, wanting to be too hard. I want to kind of try and balance it. But I also need to kind of, how do I go about it? What's a better way to approach this entire process? Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Better Manager podcast. Today, we are diving into a topic that every manager, or for that matter, everyone needs, but few feel truly prepared for communication. Not just how to talk, but how to show up with clarity, confidence, empathy, and presence. Joining us is someone who lives and breathes this work. Shweta Mandil is a public speaking and personality development coach and is a founder of Pro Orator Academy. Shweta helps professionals speak with clarity, build real confidence, and lead through communication, whether it's feedback, conversations, high stake meetings, or just showing up every day with presence. Shweta, I'm so glad to have you on here and welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Nilima, for calling me here and inviting me here, actually. And I love the way you said live and breathe the communication, and that's so true. Like day in and day out, that's what I do, and I love it. And that's what my passion is, to transform people, to tell people how important it is to have a good communication skills when it comes to speaking. Doesn't matter whether you are doing it professionally or personally, it works beautifully at both.
True. I mean, the couple of interactions that I had with you, I could, feel that. So I mean, it was like, yes, you live and breathe communication. So I mean, that's what actually came to me naturally. So that's
Lovely.
how it is. So you founded the Pro Orator Academy somewhere in 2016 after a
Yes.
long run with in training and HR, right?
Yes.
So let me ask you, was there something that made you kind of decide that no, this is what I want to do now going forward? Was there a moment, was there some experience that made you start this journey?
So Nilima, very amazing question. When I was working as HR, I was dealing with lots of professional day in, day out, and taking lots of interviews of senior level management. And what I have seen is there is a huge gap between the talented professional who are losing the opportunity at the times, not because they are not skilled, but because they don't have a good communication and
Yeah.
they are not able to express themselves. In interviews we have seen many times, if you see the resume, the profile, the portfolio, everything is so amazing. So their technical knowledge is always here, but when it comes to express this technical knowledge in words, it's like they're lagging here. So the gap, as you can see here with my body language also, that gap always used to trouble me a lot. And when I decided to start my second innings, I thought, why not this? Because this is how I can add more value in professionals' life, and I can tell them that how important it is to be more effective the way you communicate.
It does matter. It makes a lot of difference and a lot of impact if you are able to articulate what you want to say in so many ways. I mean, Yeah, I mean, I also feel that I should get into coaching when I'm trying to speak with you right now. But moving up next, you are a Toastmaster award winner, right? And I think also trained in NLP and emotional intelligence. So how does all these, you know, learnings and experience and training help you or shape you in the work that you currently do?
Okay, so what I have seen is most of the programs which is out there and people used to see, there are so much information out there on the internet, and what people are seeing, they focus mostly on body language, voice modulation, your gestures. However, when I was learning my coaching program and I was learning NLP, I was learning emotional intelligence, what I felt, every person who speaks or every leader who is speaking, however, somehow they lack empathy. So in the corporate world now, AI is a buzzword from last 4 5 years. Like, lots of people are talking about AI, emotional intelligence. But what exactly the emotional intelligence is, that is awareness to self rather than empathy, more of a empathy. How much you are aware about yourself and how you can talk to people or aware about others emotions. So I felt it is not just, communication is not just about, it is definitely a huge part is about your body language, your voice modulation and everything. However, it also involves your awareness to yourself as well as awareness to others emotion when it comes to communicate to them. And your mindset plays a huge role when it comes to communication, I feel, because most of the time I'm dealing with the senior level management, and these people are very confident when it comes, but at the very same time confidence is also situational. Sometimes you drop your confidence in a certain scenarios. Now, why it is happening? So it all depends on, like, how you are thinking, what is happening, what are the belief systems you are carrying. And there I felt the NLP helps a lot to work with my clients.
Interesting, very interesting. Building on that, many of our listeners are going to be new managers or aspiring managers, leaders, or for that matter, anybody for who is listening to us. The jump from doing the work to leading people, you know, it changes a lot of things for you as an
Mm,
individual, and
exactly.
the communication style needs to change. So, and it's a big change to navigate from an individual contributor to becoming a manager and then managing 5 different team members, you know. So what is it that is most challenging, that uh, part of it? Why does communication seem more challenging in these kind of situations? What causes that discomfort?
So, what I feel is, this is such an amazing question. And most of my clients, when they come to me, they are into transition from middle level management to senior level management, or either from the junior level management to the middle level management. So, what happens at that time? They always tell me, everything is fine when we speak with our peers. We are very confident. When we are speaking with our junior, we are very confident. The moment we start speaking with our stakeholders, with our senior clients or with our seniors, we become less confident. And why it happens, as your question is like, why the communication changes that side? Because the spotlight changes, right? When I am in a junior profile, it hardly matters what I am doing and how I am doing it. I, until and unless I'm working properly, because there is somebody who's there to lead me. As soon
Right.
as I change my profile to the junior profile, to a manager or senior level or VP or director, what happens then? That particular time, everybody is my responsibility. Then my team is my responsibility. I'm the face of my team. And then the huge problem comes in the confidence level, in the mindset level. And as a manager, I feel your words speak for your work, like
Right.
how you are influencing people, how you are inspiring people, what is helping you to align about their goals, how they can achieve their goals. And every words at that time carries weight. So you have to be very careful, because it's more about your visibility, it's more about your credibility, how you are performing in the organization. And as I told you before, that you become a face of your organization, you become a face of your team, which affects a lot to people. So what I feel is they should understand and learn the communication in a way that can help them not only to communicate daily life skills, but however also to communicate in a better way.
That's really, really helpful. Um, while you were kind of sharing this entire change and shift, the way it happens and what goes within the individual, also, there was a thought which came to my mind, which I think I would want to kind of check with you. I mean, before we go to discussing the strategies or the tools or the ways to manage communication and do things better, I feel one critical aspect of communication is empathy,
Exactly.
right? Very crucial and very important, because when you're managing a team, connecting with people, connecting with your team members, understanding where they are coming from, listening. I mean, there's so many things and so many dynamics to it, of course, but empathy goes a long way through the entire process. So, my question is, how can an individual or the new managers or any manager for that matter show, I mean, use empathy as a communication tool, especially during maybe difficult conversations, but in the normal day-to-day life, work life also? How can we one go about it?
So what I feel is, Nilima, most of the time people misunderstand the empathy with being nice, right?
Ha, yeah.
Whenever it comes, the word empathy comes to our mind, what we normally say, oh, be nice to that person, show some empathy. And that's how we have learned from the society. But what I feel, it's not actually that. It's
Okay.
it's actually being aware, like how is my emotional state right now, and if somebody is coming and telling me something, how I'm going to respond instead of reacting. Right? So most of the time, if you see, we are talking, and some when like, for example, you are asking me questions,
Hmm.
and in some question, if I feel uncomfortable or if I don't want to answer, at that time, either I can say, oh Nilima, why are you asking me this question? Right?
Yeah.
That will be a very sudden response.
Yeah.
But if I think, what is the motive behind this question? How the audience can get more value out of this question? And how should I respond to this question? Then
Hmm.
I become more aware about your what exactly you want to talk. Or I can get a clarity from you that, Nilima, I understand this is a wonderful question. However, can you please describe it little more, like what exactly you mean by empathy? Right? And then it is like, it's a awareness about the question, what we are talking and how we are talking. And same thing exists in corporate world.
Hmm.
Like, most of the time people will come and tell you haven't done this work,
Hmm.
right? Now it's like, oh, I'm doing my work, why he's telling me like that? And what kind of question you're asking at that time, and how you're reacting or you're responding to that situation makes a huge difference.
True.
So I feel empathy is being more awareness about the self and others.
Yeah, totally hear you on this aspect of it. And in fact, in my coaching work, I've seen so many new managers worrying about being, you know, am I being too kind or am I being too strict?
Right.
Because the point is, काम तो करवाना है. So how do I balance between this? So the question that kind of comes to my mind is empathy about softening the message, or is it about something else, as in how do you, I mean, in some ways you did explain this, how do you communicate, or kind of, so how would you kind of.
Okay, so most of the time when my clients come to me, they have one question, that Shweta, whenever I speak, I feel I am a very soft spoken person, and
Hmm.
I'm not that authoritative when it comes to speaking, and I feel I'm too empathetic. So, I to answer your question here, again, as I said, it's empathy doesn't mean you have to be sugarcoating the things.
Yeah, very true.
Right. It means like understanding what is the situation and how you can lead this situation. There definitely voice modulation play a huge role when it comes to how to be more authoritative when you are speaking and how you can present yourself. That is a separate thing. However, coming back to your question, what I feel is it's not about sugarcoating. It's about understanding the situation, understanding the outcome you want to deliver to that particular time, and how you have to inspire your team. It's not doing, actually, it's leading your team to a right direction to get the goals completed, or the a desired out to reach to the desired outcome. That's what I feel.
I think, yeah, that's useful and helpful.
Yeah.
So the big
And
picture covered.
I think it's most of the time it is also honesty and authenticity, how authentic you are as a person, and you're not just doing for the sake of doing it.
Yeah, I mean, uh, to be very in a very simple and ये it is like दिल से बात कर रहे हो कि नहीं.
एग्जैक्टली, हाँ, दिल से बात कर रहे हैं आप.
हाँ,
राइट.
मतलब
तो
so
ये बहुत
that's
बड़ा, लाइक ऑथेंटिसिटी इज सच अ बिग ह्यूज टॉपिक. हम
yeah.
हमेशा बात करते हैं ऑथेंटिसिटी, बी ऑथेंटिक, बट ऑथेंटिक होता क्या है ये किसी को नहीं पता है.
I mean, for that matter, empathy also. हम इतनी बार बात करते हैं empathy or authenticity as what you say. I think to sum it up in a probably a simpler way, I know may not be the right. I mean the exact way, but it is like दिल से करो जो कर रहे हो.
हाँ. ट्रू.
That's
ट्रू.
maybe the way
ट्रू.
to kind of sum it up. So
हाँ.
kind of, yeah, so the big picture covered. Now I want to move on to the day to day smaller aspects and
हम्म.
day to day things that come up um, in a lot of ways. Is there a, I mean, I don't know, you have to help me understand this. Is there a myth people believe about confidence and coaching, something people think they need to be or to do, that's actually kind of a way to go about, communicating better?
Okay, so be yourself. That's the one thing I would love to say. Be yourself rather than making it too dramatic. Like I've seen some of the platforms, they move focus more on the dramatic side, that when you are doing a voice modulation, be more dramatic. The other myth people carry is, if you want to be confident, be loud. Not at all. You don't have to be loud to be confident. It's about your inner self, how much you are aware about your inner self, how much you are aware about your skills, your capabilities. And the moment you know yourself well, the moment you are aware that my focus should be on my content or my audience or the value I'm adding to my audience, that's it. Again, as we discussed before, authenticity. Be yourself, be authentic, and don't I'll say, don't be scared of making mistakes. It's okay.
Yeah, I guess, Shweta, but it's easier said than done in the corporate world when we are in that day-to-day rush and scenarios. It's not, मतलब many a times it just, हाँ पता है यार ये ज्ञान मत दो, practically it may not
मैं भी
be
पता करें.
possible, sort of a thing, it
True.
happens. And I guess you also have gone through it, I have gone through it. So
True.
and many managers get stuck in this trying to sound professional,
हाँ.
using those words and languages like, oh, so many, being to kind of give you an example, initial days, because I come from the old era, sort of a thing. And then there were these new lingos, like I have a hard stop. I was like, what is this hard stop, yaar? Kya hota hai ye? Pehle bata,
I know.
so these are things that new managers try to use. I mean, what I'm trying to
Yeah.
make a point is to kind of sound confident, sound professional, or I know it, kind of a thing, to
I
create
know.
that impression.
True.
uh, so what is your sort of advice for these new leaders that are emerging, as to how do you think they should manage and communicate in simple and clear way?
I really loved it the way you said it, the jargons, like in the industry, what we are using and how we are using it. So most of my clients, when they come and we discuss like what are the challenges you are facing and how I can work you as a coach, the one thing comes is, Shweta, I don't have a good vocabulary. And now imagine the people who are sitting in the director level and VP levels and managers and above. They are saying that, is it possible? They have a really amazing vocabulary,
Yeah.
but they're running behind these jargons. So I always tell them that speak to express, not to impress.
Right.
That is important. The moment you learn how to express yourself, और एक सबसे अच्छी बात, अगर आप कोई भी प्रेजेंटेशन देना चाहते हो ना, इफ यू हैव अ किड एट होम, अगर वो 10 साल के बच्चे को समझ में आ गया तो वो बोर्ड रूम में किसी को भी समझ में आ जाएगा।
True.
और अगर वो 10 साल का बच्चा आपसे पूछता है आप क्या बोल रहे हो, तो फिर आप समझ लो कि बोर्ड रूम में भी लोगों के दिमाग में यही चल रहा है कि आप क्या बोल रहे हो।
True.
So I'm a very big fan of Sudha Murthy. I really love her, the way she talks, the way she writes. I'm a huge fan. तो उनका एक इंटरव्यू हो रहा था and the person who was taking interview is a king of vocabulary, Shashi Tharoor. Right? So we all know how amazing he is with his words and all. तो उन्होंने उनसे पूछा कि tell me how come you use such a simple language when it comes to writing. So it was some book review going on. I exactly don't remember the scenario, but I remember that moment. And she said 80% of Indians comes from non-speaking background, non-speaking English background,
Yeah.
right? And they don't know English much. So for me, it is important that they should understand what I am trying to tell them, instead of using a big word where they will pick up the dictionary and then read the word, understand the word, and then go back to the next page to read. And that got stuck with me. And I always tell my clients that, see, it I'm not against the good vocabulary. You can use good word and you should use good words. However, not the words which people are stuck. लाइक ओ ये कौन सा वर्ड था, इसका मतलब क्या था ना, अब आगे आप जो भी बोल रहे हो वो तो चला गया, वो तो किसी ने भी नहीं सुना, क्योंकि लोग तो उसी वर्ड में अटके हुए हैं अभी भी. एंड दैट एक्चुअली हैपेंस, दैट्स व्हाट.
Oh yeah, yeah, it does happen. It does happen because I mean, and for that matter, I think मतलब इतनी बार आता है, and I think that's a discussion across all the world, is now when you are in an organization which has multi generation workforce, like you have millennials, you have probably what I don't even know what I'm
Gen
which
Z is Gen Alpha, so
which,
so many
which
are there.
category I fall in, probably what Gen X or something like that.
Right.
But the Gen Z, the millennials, and now the alphas and
True.
all that kind of stuff.
True.
So language has evolved so much that it is really confusing to understand and keep tab of things, ki there's so much. I mean, I think there should be a dictionary for that aspect of it. But I kind of really get what you're saying. It's simplest, and I think clear communication, I think, takes you long way.
See, what I genuinely feel is you should upgrade. Like, we are also upgrading with the language, with the words and vocabulary. However, what I feel is then also there are ways where you can clearly state what exactly you want to express. So focus on that more than adding lots of words, which is difficult to understand for the normal जनता. तो वो थोड़ा ध्यान में रख के, दिमाग में रख के आप बात करो तो ज़्यादा अच्छा होता है.
No, I completely am with you on that, because I've experienced this and I've learned a lot of new words and jargons, or probably the short forms or abbreviations that are there
Exactly.
in circulation today.
True.
So, moving on to the what would I say, the trickier or a bit complex kind of a thing is parts of the manager's job is giving feedback, managing conflicts in the team, managing conflict on a one-on-one basis also. One is in the team, one is conflict or kind of addressing certain difficult conversations. So these are the moments where the real communication skills have to show up, because otherwise you land up in further, things fall apart, they kind of become sort of messy
Exactly.
So kind of just wanted to check with you, let's say I'm a new manager and I have to give a tough feedback to someone who is not performing up to the mark or up to the expectation. I'm nervous and I don't want to hurt that person's feeling. Like what we said, wanting to be too soft, wanting to be too hard. I want to kind of try and balance it. But I also need to kind of, how do I go about it? What's a better way to approach this entire process? How do I keep, I don't be too soft also, I don't be too harsh also, but I'm honest and giving the feedback which is objective, which will help the person also and get the work done also.
Ah, that's one area where most of the corporate leaders get stuck. And giving feedback is bit critical because, as you said, as you mentioned, it is always like, what to say, how to say it. So I will always tell them use threes. So I call it 3 formula. And how
Okay.
it works is first empathy,
Mm-hmm.
then give them the evidence, and then come with the expectation, what expectations you have. So it's a tool which all the audience who are watching this can definitely use it and comment after that, like how they felt after using them. So it's like threes. Three is like empathy, your evidence, and your expectations. Now, for example, if I want to give a feedback, I'll tell you an example which my client was struggling with. So he was working as a senior manager in one of the pharmaceutical company, and he told me that, Shweta, there is one junior, every time I tell him to do something and he's not doing it, and then he come up with the multiple reasons, and I don't know what to do it. Like I really am struggling to do that. And I told him, like, try this. So what we did is using again these threes. Now I understand, Ramesh, that you are doing a wonderful job in your area and you're trying to give your best. But from last 1 month, I'm trying to tell you that you are lagging behind giving me certain reports, which is very important because we have to present this to our client. What I feel is, this is in this situation, I want you to complete it by 3 o'clock today itself and report me. And if you face any problem, you can come to me and ask me. I'm there to help you out.
Right.
Right? Now, I have told as a manager that person has given a clear instruction. The expectation is very clear that 3 o'clock, I need this on my table. If you face some problem, I'm here to help you. Right? Rather than 3 o'clock I want this, it has to be here. Now it is a bit difficult for the person. So first we went like, yes, you are doing really great, but then we are giving the evidence that no, from the last 1 month I'm asking you this thing, you are not giving me. And now my expectation is I want it today itself because it's critical information and I have to give it to my clients.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, it the way you explained it, it was so balanced and so well kind of structured and articulated. I'm sure if our viewers listen to it, and they will be able to take some part of it and try and implement it. I know it will not happen overnight, or
Exactly.
it's not going to make that, you can't make that change ekdam se, but being conscious and, as you rightly said, being aware of what you're communicating, if you do that, I think over a period of time, yes, you can improve this kind, your communication style and the way you're going about giving feedback. So that I think really was helpful.
Because I personally feel that feedback is not about criticism, it's
Yeah.
about the growth you want to make in your team, right? You obviously, if you want to get promoted, you have to make sure your team is ready to take your place, and then only you will get promoted, right? So right kind of feedback will always help them to grow in their career also, I feel.
Yeah, I think, yeah, I mean, absolutely, kind of very helpful, and thanks for sharing this. So like we covered feedback, and we also had touched upon conflict is a big part of the day-to-day work life, in some or the other way. Maybe it's with the team, between the team members, or it could be between you and your team individual as a manager and your team member. So how do you ease the tension? And I also want to go back to empathy again, saying how can you kind of, one is ease the tension, and how can empathy help here? but not just being nice, but being effective in solving the conflict that is happening. Trying to be kind of, because I'm coming back again and again to one point, is being objective. I strongly feel, because when I coach new managers, I always kind of end up telling them that don't make it personal. And I remember our conversations also, where when we were kind of deciding on getting onto this podcast conversation, we also discussed that it should not become personal. It has to be objective, sticking to the work. that is
True.
that's what matters. So how can one help, how can you help us there?
Okay. So what I feel is like in my coaching sessions, most of my clients do said that, Shweta, conflict यार फालतू में like time खराब हो जाएगा and क्या करें? It's like let's not get into it. So I really want to avoid all this situation. But I always tell them कि भाई conflict is not a threat. It's a wonderful chance to understand others. It's always a miscommunication happening within the team, and that's the reason the conflict arises, right?
True.
Now, being a leader, it is very important for you to have your own perspective, however, to understand the other's perspective also. So normally क्या होता है, लोग बोलते हैं no no you are wrong. That's
हाँ.
what happens, right? No, you are wrong and I'm right. I'm telling you to do this, you have to do this. Now, instead of that, if you say, I understand what you are trying to say, however, can you explain me how can, if we are doing this, what will be the pros and cons? Now you are giving them, the ball is in their court now. Now let them think, because normally हमको लगता है I'm right, I'm always right.
And I'm the boss, I'm the
Yeah, I'm the
manager.
boss, right? I'm the boss. So beautifully, ये तो सबके साथ ही होता है. सारे लोग जितने भी सीनियर लेवल पे बैठे हैं, या इवन कोई भी हो, नॉर्मल
मैंने भी
ह्यूमन
करा
बीइंग,
हुआ है many a
हाँ
times. It's
हमने भी किया हुआ है, राइट?
yeah.
कि नहीं हम ही सही हैं. अभी जब सही गलत का हमको नहीं पता है, तो हमें सब सही लग रहा है. सो द मोमेंट यू आस्क सच क्वेश्चंस, इमीडिएटली आता है, अच्छा इसमें कुछ गलत भी हो सकता है. द माइंड स्टार्ट प्लेइंग देन, oh now let me think about that, what will be the pro and cons, and then the person himself understand, yes, maybe. So
Very
I feel
interesting.
it's a wonderful thing to have conflict inside the team, because you get more perspective to understand, more brainstorming starts happening. So I always tell my clients, अरे बहुत ही बढ़िया है, just enjoy now.
No, but I mean, as what you also, while you were explaining, you said it rightly. We generally want to avoid conflict. We don't
हाँ.
want to get there, because keeping that objectivity becomes a challenge for all of us in so many ways. And as what you rightly said, ki instead of just kind of giving them a diktat of saying ki what I'm saying is right and follow me,
True.
where you end up not helping them grow or think. Rather, ask them, what is the point that you are trying to make?
True.
Let me listen to it, because listening is very important again. And that kind of goes long way in building the thinking processes, thinking structures, and I think helps also solve conflicts.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, to the point, बिल्कुल. Like one thing I also feel is like, आपको भी मौका मिलता है कि आपकी पर्सपेक्टिव्स कैसे चेंज हो सकते हैं. मे बी वी हैव ह्यूज नॉलेज, एंड वॉइस मॉड्यूलेशन ऑल्सो प्ले अ ह्यूज रोल. तो मेरे क्लाइंट थे, वेन एवर ही यूज टू स्पीक, people, he got feedback from many other people that you are very rude when you talk, and he came to me and said, श्वेता मैं रूड नहीं हूँ, मैं ऐसी बात करता हूँ. So why people are telling me this? And that was jokes apart, but it's also वॉइस मॉड्यूलेशन. आप कॉन्फ्लिक्ट मैनेजमेंट में आपको किस टाइप की वॉइस यूज करना है, वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है. आधा काम तो आपके बोलने के, आपकी टोन से ही खत्म हो जाता है. आपको कॉन्फ्लिक्ट लगेगा ही नहीं इफ यू नो हाउ टू यूज द राइट टोन. एंड दैट्स व्हाट आई कोच इनसाइड द प्रोग्राम, की use this kind of tone, especially in the conflict, especially in the negotiation, that will help you to resolve your conflict easily. So वो
Yeah.
बहुत important होता है.
Completely with you on this. Well, you were saying, you were giving us an example of one of the clients or technology that you kind of helped with. Is there some example that you would want to share with our viewers also, as to somebody who was really struggling with over explaining or freezing up in meetings, and you kind of took them through the process and it actually helped them?
Right. So all my clients do struggle with the same thing as you said.
Yeah, I guess yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
However, I remember she was my very first client in terms of senior level management,
Okay.
and she is working as a DGM in one of the biggest automobile companies, very known automobile companies. And when she came to me, she told me that Shweta, I'm recently promoted to DGM position, and whenever I talk to the VPs or the board members, I feel less confident, and I feel like I'm not up to the mark till now. And there were lots of conflict inside her regarding the position. As I said, the spotlight shift happened, so she was feeling very low in her confidence. And when we started working together, there are many things came. As I told you, my program is very special. As when I was designing, I also noticed myself, like how I was, what were the root causes I had when I was able to express myself, when I was talking to people, where what was holding me back. And all that things helped me to design my program in this way. So when I was working with him, when we started working, lots of things came, like belief system, the root causes. And slowly, as we started removing the root causes, not only she became confident, but the level of expressing herself was totally changed. And then there was a huge presentation in the organization where it was a hybrid mode. Some people were in the boardroom, some people were sitting in Germany, some were in US. So overall team was sitting in that way, and she presented. And after finishing her presentation, she got many calls, and then she called me and she was having tears in her eyes, and she told me that, Shweta, the way people were appraising me, I was amazed. And cherry on the cake was, somebody called her from a senior level management and told her that, I heard you gave an amazing presentation and that's so wonderful. And she asked him that, you were in that room? And he said, no, I heard. And she said, sure, the people are talking about it. So the win is, it's like the happiness when you see on people's face, your client's face, when they really feel confident in their skin, and they jump out of their skin and tell you that, this is something I have achieved. And that's very close to my heart, because she was the very first senior level management client I was coaching, and the result she got was really amazing. So it was transformation for me as a coach, you can understand, as well as for her. So that's a one of the success story that I it's very close to my heart.
Thanks for sharing. I mean, it is really nice, and I'm sure you. I mean, it must have been such a nice feeling to get that. So building on it, we spoke about working with teams, working within your team member, along with your team members, and how do you communicate and how do you manage things. Um, but working in an organization is not only about working within your team, but it's also about your seniors or your leaders or your managers that you work with, or the right. So, and we often think that saying the right thing is going to get us there, but it's
Mhm.
also about being seen, especially in high stake, like what you were just kind of giving us an example. High stake meetings where you might be new, like the client that was just promoted, or the youngest one. So how do you kind of make that impact? How, communication isn't about just being understood, it's also being about seeing as a leader. Or
Exactly.
how does the way you communicate change how seniors perceive you? So how do you go about making those small changes or big changes in your way of communication?
So what I feel, Nilima, is every communication you hold inside the organization is a visibility you show in the organization, and that is very important. So I have seen people coming in my coaching and told me that, Shweta, I'm doing so much work, and when people ask me, I'm not able to express that I did this, I did that, whereas somebody who has not done anything comes and say this much to this much, and they are taking all the credit. And it's actually so painful for the person who is sitting inside my coaching, and the frustration, everything builds upon that. So I always tell them it is very important to be visible through your conversation and the communication you're holding, because your visibility creates your credibility. And the moment you become visible and credible, you automatically become profitable, and that's how you grow, right? In your career development, that's how you grow. You get the promotions and you get the hikes. It's all depends on the visibility. So moment you talk, how to show up, how to take initiative at times, that is very important. And I always tell my every client, be more visible, be more visible, as much visible you can. So even doesn't matter which hierarchy you are standing in the corporate world, be more visible. More visible doesn't mean a fake communication or fake confidence. However, visible as your true self and as your authentic self. That's the one thing it is very important to have.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people say कि my work will speak for myself
Ah,
itself, you know.
it
So
doesn't.
yes, it
Unfortunately,
does.
ऐसा होता नहीं
Yeah,
है.
it does to a certain extent, I feel, for sure.
Hmm,
But you also need to probably package it in a certain way
true.
to, kind of make yourself, as what you rightly said, visible, and build up that entire uh, personality in a
Hmm.
certain way. I mean, am I right in saying this?
Yes, yes. Actually, you are correct. The way you speak also determines that how others are perceiving you, right?
Right.
And how authoritative you are, how credible you are, but also how you are owning the space. So
Yeah.
you must have heard this word a lot in the coaching session, I'm sure, Nilima, executive presence.
Oh yeah.
It's a new buzzword. I feel that every client who comes first, I want to build my executive presence.
Yeah.
Now, understand what is that executive presence is. It's not just speaking more. It's about how you're presenting and owning the whole space. That's what executive presence is. And you need to understand and learn many things inside that. So, well said, like it has to be what you're doing, package it well. The moment you learn to package it well, you become visible in the organization.
When we talking about this, it's all kind of, yes, we need to do it. It's not easy to translate into action ASAP or overnight. All these things accepted, but there are kind of certain personalities, like personalities in the sense of me as an individual. I'm an introvert. Okay, so when you say all these things, it builds a lot of pressure for me
Hmm.
within, कि यार ये तो मतलब बहुत काम है, ये मैंने नहीं करना.
Exactly.
It's too much of a pressure, honestly. मतलब work pressure, work deliveries, all those things to be accurate and on time and all that तो है ही है. Plus additionally make yourself visible, executive presence, packaging and all that stuff is like additional things to it.
True.
So somebody like this, how should one go about managing? Or if you have some kind of suggestions or tools or tips for them, I think will help a lot.
Definitely. So, uh, most of the clients who comes are introvert. They feel like we are introvert and we suddenly want to be an
I'm not the
extrovert.
only one.
Yeah. So it happens. Like there are clients who are extrovert also. However, what I feel is whoever you are, see you as a personality, Nilima, if you are introvert and I am ambivert and somebody is extrovert, that is the core personality that person is having.
True.
Now suddenly if you want me to change it ulta pura, I am introvert, I want to be extrovert now. Now how much pressure it is.
Yeah.
right? I'm
It's
losing my authentic self. I'm not who I am. So when I coach them inside my program, I tell them that make your core nature as your strength, not as your weakness. And the moment you feel that, it's too much pressure building, try to focus on yourself more. And breathing techniques helps a lot to reduce your anxiety, your nervousness. So we can try one here itself. So I like, as you said, you are suddenly feeling very nervous in the room because there are lots of energies out there talking aloud, and you feel you are introvert. So you can definitely try this technique, and you will feel that suddenly you are calm. So are you ready for it?
That's right.
Amazing. So just it's a breathing technique which we will be doing it. So just take a breathe in and breathe out. Now, once again, breathe in and breathe out. Now, when you breathe in, I'll be counting four, and then I'll be telling you to hold for two, and then again, I'll be telling you four to exhale. Okay. So now breathe in, one, two, three, four, hold, one, two, breathe out, one, two, three, four. So, in the high pressure situation where you see lots of people are talking and now you have to present, you can always do this silently, and this movement give you more makes you more grounded. And the moment you become more grounded, your thoughts are ready to present.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, it just calms you down because,
Yeah. So,
like,
how you felt? I really want to ask
yeah,
your
yeah,
experience.
actually, I was just saying that kind of when I kind of breathe. I mean, breathing in was the breathing out was like the calming and soothing thing that kind of really helped me. It
Exactly.
just kind of makes you feel okay, comfortable. That's I think important.
So, this is a normal breathing technique. Helps you to calm down in the pressure situation where problem is what, nahi? As an introvert, what happens when you listen to lots of thoughts,
Hmm.
and you have the answer inside, but you're not able to express it because overwhelmed. You're overwhelmed now. Oh, he's saying that. He's saying that. Now, what should I say? This particular moment helps you to structure your thoughts in a nicer way, and then you present. So now you're not just reacting. See, your brain will react, your body will react before your brain does. So you
Right.
need to control your body first, and then स्पीक विथ योर ब्रेन सो सब कुछ बैलेंस हो जाएगा, फिर सब कुछ बैलेंस हो जाएगा. अगर आपने अपनी बॉडी को पहले बोलने दिया तो फिर बस आप रिएक्ट करते रहोगे, आपके फेशियल एक्सप्रेशंस दिख जाएंगे, अरे भाई क्यों बोल रहा है इतना, मत बोल. सो ये सारी चीजें हो जाएंगी, इसलिए
Yeah.
ब्रीदिंग टेक्निक आपको कंपोज करने में बहुत हेल्प करती है.
I completely and I just experienced it. It just helped me calm down. So probably my next question is leading into what we were just kind of having a conversation about is, so beyond managing the nerves, how do you actually show up with presence in those kind of meetings where all your leaders are there, you have to make a pitch or you have to ask for certain approvals on the project and things. So even मतलब आप नए मैनेजर हो, 3-4 साल मैनेजर लेवल पे हो,
Hmm.
या you are senior, you
Hmm.
still have to make that presentation and you still have to manage your nerves. So are there any practical tips, voice, body language, or that one can kind of be aware of or practice these scenarios rather?
Okay, as you said, that younger managers or manager having 3, 4, or 5 years of experience, or even above directors and all. See, it's because these days in very young age you are getting promotion. Not like unlike our time कि हम 40-50 में जा रहे हैं तब जाके बड़े director या VP position पे आ रहे हैं. But now people, youngsters are very smart. I feel working with them you learn so many things. So what one suggestion or recommendation I would say I would love to give, first understand your presence is not about age.
Hmm.
It's about how you speak, how you make eye contact, how's your voice modulation, how calm and composed you are when you are speaking. Right? Most of the time we have seen many people just speak very fast.
Yeah.
Just want to end it up. And now when you're speaking fast, half of the things तो किसी को समझ में ही नहीं आई भाई क्या बोल के चला गया ये. So, as even if it is presentation, you are pitching something to your client, if you're in sales profile, whether you are working with the highest stakeholders, doesn't matter. Make sure that you upgrade yourself in the communication level. You make a right eye contact. You learn how to use the body language correctly. You learn how to use your voice as a power, because your voice is your presence in that room.
Yeah.
So make sure that when you speak, people not even when you speak, the way you sit. I've seen people sitting like this inside the meeting.
Okay. I'm
No,
gonna
very
say.
relaxed, very
Yeah.
relaxed. You are sitting nicely only. I'm just telling you the
No,
experience
but jokes apart.
that
But
one
yeah,
of
yeah.
my
Oh, it does matter. It
it
does
does
matter.
matter. I'll tell you, one of my clients used to come inside our session and he
Hmm.
used to just sit like this. And I told him
Okay.
that, and he used to say, I don't feel that confident in the pressurized situation. I want you to sit nicely, sit straight, shoulder back, and now you have to sit like this for the whole session. And towards the end of the session, you have to tell me how you're feeling. And he told me, Shweta, I felt the best, and I felt so confident. I said, you start changing your posture, the way you're sitting. You can't sit in this way. So this was the very first session he came inside, and then onwards they told me, just a small shift in my posture changed so much in my whole presence. So all small things, Nilima, but matters a lot, a lot. And honestly, you cannot learn all these things from YouTube or somewhere else. It has to be, you should have a right coach, right mentor to guide you according to your perspective, according to what you are, because every person is different. So every client who enters inside our program is so different from the other one, and they don't understand, because I feel in corporate world communication is such a blind spot that people don't understand we need this, and they only come searching for the coaches or mentors when they are getting feedback from somebody. No, this is at a high time to work on your communication skills, which I will also say to young managers, right? Ask your seniors that how is my communication skills, do you feel that I need to work on it? Because if you start working from the level 1, it will be very easy for you to go to the senior level. And obviously every level the communication style is different, so you have to keep updating yourself for sure. But if you learn in an early age stage of your career, you will grow like anything, then you become unstoppable.
Yeah. It's setting the foundation right.
Exactly, that's what we were discussing before the session, right?
And this also kind of reminds me of how our parents used to say कि foundation right करो तो आगे जाके आसानी होगी, when kind of get your maths right in the starting stages of your school days. But yeah, it does make a lot of sense. If you start early, it goes a long way in making those impact. And I think the career progression, the work process, the entire journey becomes less stressful, or maybe if to put it in a better way, it becomes smoother and easier
Hmm.
for you. You kind of don't have those hurdles that you need to cross over and over again, at least not these hurdles. There would be other hurdles, of course. I'm sure there would be certain things that you will still have to cross over, but this kind of, if you kind of become aware of it, make those changes and start early. Yeah, that's
Makes
for
perfect.
sure. I mean, I also kind of, when I coach young managers or we do those workshops, and we kind of keep telling them the same thing, that be conscious, be aware of how things are. I mean, for that matter, just now when we were talking, I kind of sit up straight. My mind is alert, my focus is different. I kind of am more clearer on things rather than kind of slouching. And I'm not saying don't do that, be free.
Be free, but at the time when many people, you must have heard in the coaching session, I'm not focused. I'm not focused in many of my meetings. Now, from focus, how you will be focused if you're sitting or thinking somewhere? The moment you alert your body, your physical presence change, your mental presence automatically shift.
Become present in the given situation or scenarios that you are. So yes. Okay, that's like now moving to, I mean, that actually naturally leads me to the question that I want to kind of now ask you is, for our viewers, how can you give them some simple habits or communication rituals to follow, which they can practice on a daily basis or on their own, that will help them build all these things that we were talking about, and kind of help them slow and steadily inculcate them into their being actually.
Um, so the basic awareness I would say is like every day towards the end of the day, you just sit for 2 minutes and think, how was my communication style for the whole day? Whether I was just listening to speak or just speaking to react, right? Or I was mindful when I was talking to others. The simple exercise will help you a lot to understand where you are lagging in your communication. What is happening? Second question which you can ask to yourself is, how did I communicate well today? Did I make somebody happy or somebody understood, or people were not reacting when I was talking? So again, you will understand, oh, yeah, I need to work on this area.
Right.
And once you learn, then it's always better to find somebody and get helped. That's the only way you can do it. But these two things helps a lot. And that's the one thing which we do inside of a session in the beginning few weeks, that every day I ask my clients, journal it. See what is going on, where you are lagging, what is happening, where you are facing the trouble. And then we will resolve that. But self-awareness is very important before any transformation, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, self-awareness, self-reflection, because unless you reflect on what did I do right, wrong, good, bad, ugly, you can't course correct yourself, and put yourself onto the right track. So makes.
And self awareness is also important. I remember when we were discussing, I discussed with you this example. So I was training in one of the corporates. So we designed a special program for them. It was Hyderabad based corporate. And there, one of the manager asked me, we are trying to tell one of the senior leader because he's not getting placed somewhere. So he needs to work on his communication skills. But he is like, no, I have 30 years of experience and I'm experienced enough. This is not the reason for not getting selected. And that was a major reason, because that person was not getting selected. And it was a international recruitment firm. So it's a blind spot again. And self reflection is not there. It's a lack of self reflection towards yourself. So if you start early, so if you are just budding manager, if you're a young professional, and you start early, that okay, this is how it went in my communication side, this is how it went in my, see, communication is not only just talking, it helps you in your decision making, it
Yeah.
helps you in your leadership building, it has also helps you to understand people, how it is working in your empathy management. it
Yeah.
it helps you a lot in overall development of your career. So once you learn like where I'm lagging and you understand and you start working on that, that will be the biggest thing you can do it for yourself, I feel.
Yes, I completely agree with you on this. So, coming towards the closure of our conversation and towards the end of the conversation, if I have to ask you, if you could leave every manager, young, old, mid-level, at whatever level that they are, uh, listening to this conversation and this interaction, one core idea about communication, especially during the hard moments that you kind of want them to be mindful of, aware of, and remember in those kind of situation.
So, one thing which I would really love to tell the audience here is confident confidence isn't one thing, it's two.
Okay.
One, the inner battery, your inner battery, and your situational spike.
Hmm.
The moment you build your inner battery, you train your mind to be there in the situational spike.
Okay.
And the
Interesting.
communication is not about just words. So public speaking, it is said public speaking is not about perfection. It's all about connection. That's what I have learned from my mentor. Like, try to connect with people, try to understand them, and then you speak. And the moment you do that, you start owning the room. Then
It's like your navigation, right? It's like
exactly.
your um how do I put it? I'm not getting the right word. Like maybe
So
I need
I'll simplify
help.
for you.
Yeah.
When I say inner battery, what I mean here is understanding yourself. There are lots of trauma you hold, lots of things you hold which holds you back, which pulls you literally back not to speak up. And you cannot solve it with any YouTube channel, I'll say that. Because most of my clients, they have tried and tested everything, and they have actually went to many courses and done the things, and when they come inside the program, they say, oh my god, this is such a different thing, we never experienced, none of the coaches worked like this the way you work. And as I told you, that my program is very close to my heart because I have seen ups and downs in my life. Even being very confident woman, I there was a time when my confidence dropped in my life, and I can understand that pain. I can understand how it works for people. And that's the reason I thought, no, if I am in this situation, there are many others in that situation, and I can help them because I have overcome with the help of my mentor, and I've learned from him, and now I'm ready to give to the society in this way.
This makes a lot of sense, and it was such a nice. I mean, you put it in such a simple way. It was really, really nice. Um, this brings us to our conversation ka end and closure, and it was really. I mean, I want to just say, कि it was such a fun. It was enlightening. It was very interesting. I mean, the tools and tips, you kind of put it in such a simple and nice way that it was really helpful. I learned a lot of things. I'm sure my viewers and will learn a lot of things from here. It was really practical. The way you kind of, the three E's was like really a practical tool that anybody can put in
Exactly.
practice on a daily basis, you know. So thank you so much for bringing your knowledge, your wisdom, your practical tools to the show and sharing it with all of us here. And one small thing that I would want to ask you is, where can our listeners connect with you or learn more about the work you do on Pro Academy? So if you could, I mean, I'll share this, of course, on the show notes or in the description of the, but if you could just let them know about this.
So, guys, you can follow me on LinkedIn. I'm very active there. That's a platform we are all, I guess, because it's a lovely platform to have. And I keep writing my experience with my clients and the problems people normally face in communication. And if you like it there and you are interested to be a part of our program, we keep doing workshops, as you said. We keep doing some batches. We also do one-to-one programs. So whatever you feel like, you can visit our website, that is www.prooratoracademy.com, and you will get all the details. You can give us a call. Team will be there to help you out and support you.
Great. I will put all these details on the description of the program. I will also share those the frameworks that Shweta shared with us, and the tools and certain very specific things that she kind of mentioned. So you will have all the details to kind of go through and understand and reach out with to Shweta if you feel the need, and want to kind of get better at communication, better at managing your team and communicating with your team, connecting with your team. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show and loved the show, and I loved talking to Shweta, so I'm sure.
Same here, Nilima. It was such a wonderful conversation. I was some when you told me, I thought it must be scripted or something, but it was such a natural flow of conversation and discussing our things about communication, how people feel, how you shared your experience with your client, and it was such a wonderful time we had. So thank you so much for inviting me.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to maybe collaborating and doing something
Yes, yes,
together, but
absolutely.
let's kind of figure that
Lovely,
out as we go.
lovely.
So, thank you so much, and thank you to everyone who's listening into this conversation. Thank you so much.